When I was a kid and I watched Michael Moore's film Roger and Me, I was disappointed in the ending because I felt like it was incomplete. He had just shown all of these crimes against the working class, shown a family getting kicked out of their home at Christmas. They threw out their Christmas tree. All while these bourgeois politicians were having this meeting about how their community was going to do so well. All the while they were selling out the entire proletariat of the region, Michael Moore's region, Michigan, to the corporations. They were shipping out the jobs. They were screwing over all these people who had done so much work for their community over the decades. And as far as I could tell from just watching that film, there was nothing we could do about it. The film's conclusion was that a new era had come. I think this was 1999, the first decade of the Reagan neoliberal era. So that was discouraging at the time. And then I realized that this was only one part of the story, because it's several decades later now, and China has shown that we can have a socialist re-industrialization of this continent. China has shown that it's possible to bring back the equivalent of these industries within a new social system, of course, in a way that accommodates a green system, a climate solution. China is years ahead of its Paris Climate Pledge goals, and it's still been able to use industry, use these technologies, these tools, to bring all of its people out of poverty. China has been able to eliminate the entire impoverished paradigm that it was left with from the feudal bourgeois era, lift 900 million people out of poverty, make it so that nobody is destitute in that country anymore, all while fulfilling its climate pledges and then some. What does this tell us about our conditions? It tells us that we don't need degrowth. That degrowth is actually anti-Marxist from the perspective of a socialist, because the goal of a socialist is to help the working class. And obviously that includes both economically benefiting the working class in the short term and bettering the environment in the longer term, because we're not going to have a proletariat if we don't have a functioning planet. These goals are reconcilable. Reindustrialization is reconcilable with an ecological solution. If you want to hear more about how the degrowth agenda is anti-Marxist, please watch Peter Coffin's video in the description below. But as for a solution, I believe that reindustrialization of what we now call the United States is essential for rectifying the crimes that have been committed against the working class over the last half century, as well as eliminating poverty, eliminating destitution from our society, like how China has been able to do it for theirs. I believe that that is an essential part of making this case against degrowth that Peter Coffin and others have been making. Because the people who support degrowth can then say to us, well, what is your solution? How are we going to stop the climate crisis from snowballing into apocalypse? Well, China has shown the solution. The solution is green reindustrialization.